Hello and welcome to this crocheted heart ring tutorial. In this tutorial I'll show you how to make this ring using crochet thread and a simple bead. Let me show you what the materials and tools are. Here I have crochet thread size 3 in red and pink. I have a crochet hook B1, a 2.25 millimeter, pair of scissors, and for sewing on our bead I found these large eye tapestry needles, but they're small enough to go through the beads that I have chosen. I got these string of heart beads at Michael's Arts and Crafts in the United States. Can you see the little hole? And they will be sewn on. Of course I couldn't buy just one. So join me as we make this heart ring. Come on, let's get started. In making this heart, we're only going to use the one strand. I tried the double strand and it just made it so that it came out a little too big. I wanted to show you the difference. This one has 2 strands, this one has 1 strand. So you can see the difference with the extra thread. And as before, like I suggest, please pull out a sufficient amount of yarn, thread here, so that you can go ahead and make these stitches without losing your tension. Have about 4 to 6 inches. It'll be good enough for a tail so that you can have something to hold on to. We're going to go ahead and wrap our yarn around. Take our hook, go underneath, pull up a loop, and we're going to start with a magic circle. Okay, and you want to snug up that first chain there on that magic circle. Now, for this, I want to show you how to help control your tension. You may want to wrap it twice around your little finger, come from behind and go over the top of your finger. To me, this helps control the thread a little bit better. I know I call it yarn all the time, but we'll be just fine. So we're going to start off with a chain of 2. Three double crochets, here's 2, here's number 3. Two half double crochets, and 1 single crochet. Okay, if your magic circle loop is a little bit large, let's go ahead and shrink it down. I'm going to chain 1 and 1 double crochet, chain 1. Now we're going to do what we did right here in reverse. Single crochet, 2 half double crochets, 1, 2, and even though I pulled it out, it still wants to get caught up in my fingers, huh? Okay, and then 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to slip stitch to the magic circle. Alright, if your tail has twisted around your magic circle, go ahead and untwist it. And then pull it. Don't pull it closed. Just pull it so that it comes together but not closed. Okay, leave a little tail opening there. Now, with our working thread, I'm going to go ahead and cut that. About a 4 to 6 inch tail. Pull it through that last chain and tighten it up. Okay? And then take both of those and drop it to the back. I'd like for you to leave the heart open. You'll find that it'll be easier when we apply our second color with the pink. So go ahead and pull out your pink, place a slip knot on your hook, and I'll show you what to do next. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start with, in the chain 1 or the chain 2 space here, we're going to place a single crochet. And you'll notice that I do snug on my stitching so that it's not too long. Chain 1, and even though you're in that chain 2 stitching, see if I can pull it up, you still want to be on the right side of that stitch if you're right-handed, and go right into that chain. That's your first single crochet after the chain. Okay, chain 1, in the next stitch, single crochet, chain 1, and continue with each stitch and chain 1 till you get to the point. Okay, here I am down at that last single crochet from the red, chain 1, we're here at the chain 1 opening, single crochet in there, chain 1. Now in this double crochet that's down here at the bottom, we're going to do single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet back in that same space. Chain 1, and we're going to go back up the other side. Don't forget that chain 1 space. And then that single crochet since we're on the right hand side. Chain 1. So you can see why I hold my work the way I do is so that I can control it a little bit better. I know there's many ways of doing this, but I encourage you to do with what's best for you. My way is just a suggestion. Okay, so here we are up here at the top. We did our last double crochet. Now we're going into that chain 2 space, single crochet there, chain 1, make a large loop. Then we're going to find our magic circle tail. We're going to pull it shut. Mine, I believe, is this one. Okay, so I'm going to place my finger and thumb on my work where the tail comes out at, and then I'm going to pull it tight. There we go. We'll deal with the threads after we finish our next row. Okay, let's take a short break, give your hands a rest, and we'll start on the next one in just a second. Does yours look like this? I bet it does. Okay, now we have our first single crochet. We're going to go into the first chain 1 space. So it'll be between those 2 single crochets. And we're going to place a single crochet. Okay, so that'll close the top of that heart, and that's what we want it to do. Chain 2. In the next chain 1 space, this whole row will be in the chain 1 spacing. It will not be into the single crochet. So in that chain 1 spacing, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet in the same space. Chain 2, into the next chain 1 space, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet in the same space. We're going to do that one more time. Chain 2, and in this next space we'll have the excuse me, 2 single crochets with the chain 2 in between. Okay, so you have that nice little curve there. So in the next 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to do 1 single crochet with the chain 2 in between. 1, 2, go to the next chain 1, 1, 2, next chain 1, 1, 2, the next chain 1, and you should have the 2 at the bottom of the point right here. In that space right there where the chain 2 is from our first row, we're going to place the 2 single crochets with a chain 2 in between. Okay, chain 2, got single crochet, chain 2, go to the next chain 1 space, single crochet, chain 2, in the next chain 1 space, chain 2. Now we're coming up to where we're going to be doing 3 here pretty soon. So here's our 1 right here. So 1, 2, 3. So our next one, chain 2, yeah, so that's 1, 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to do it in the next one. We're going to do 2 single crochets in the same space as we go around that curve. Chain 2, 2 single crochets in this chain 1 space, chain 2, and then single crochet, chain 2, single crochet in the same space. And then the next one, chain 2, the next one just gets 1. Okay, so we're here at our top. We're going to chain 2. I'm going to slip stitch right into that first. Okay. Go ahead and cut your yarn or your thread and pull it through, and let's finish this off. Okay, looking good. I know your hands must be hurting because mine do too. Go ahead and let's take a break, and we'll come back and we'll tie the ends off in the back. Here you can see that I've separated the 2 reds from the 2 pinks. What I do for mine is I'm going to place a square knot on the back, making sure that the square knot is not near the top of the work. If you have fabric glue, you can place a little dot on the top of that when you're completed, and it will hold it in place. So make your square knot and then cut it close to the knot. Do that for the red, and we'll get started on the next chain stitch that goes around the heart. So the next thing we're going to do is place the chain stitch around the heart. So what I'd like for you to do is, with the right side of the heart facing you, you're going to take your hook and you're going to go down into that chain 2 opening on the first row of the pink. So can you see where I'm inserting the hook at? That's where you want to face down at. So with your red, or if you choose to use a different color, place it into your hook, bring it up, and let the tail hang down. Now take your hook and go into the next, chain 1 space, and come up through that hook, or the loop on your hook. Let's go into the next, chain 1 space, bring up the thread. I keep calling it yarn, I don't know why. And here we have 2 chains. I'm going to go into the next, chain 1 opening. Alright, so I'm going to suggest to you to continue all the way around. There's no point at the top. Just keep on going into those chain 1 spaces. When you get right here, I'll meet you here and I'll show you how to finish it off. As you can see, I've gone all the way around, so let's go ahead and finish our last one. You're going to take your hook and place it in the same hole that you originally started. Go down, bring up your loop, and bring it through the loop. Okay? And then take about 6 inches, cut your thread. Now with the rest, pull it through, and you'll have a small loop here. So from the back side, you want to bring up your hook, take your thread, go over the hook, and take it to the back. So here you have completed this right here. So to finish this, I'm just going to place a square knot. Now we're ready to add the ring strap. We are almost done, and then we'll add our accent heart. To make our ring strap, I would like for you to leave a good 6 to 8 inches of thread. Let's place a slip knot on our hook. And chain 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll meet you when you get to 20. After 20 chains, we're going to skip the first chain and place a half double crochet in the next. We're going to continue with the half double crochet for the length of the chain. When you're done, you should have 19 half double crochets. After you've completed it, you want to cut it and pull it through. Every once in a while it wants to twist up on you. Alright. Now you'll notice that as you made this, it had like a natural curve that comes to it. Either it's going to go the right side stitching out or the wrong side stitching out. Whichever the curve is going to go to, you need to go to that curve. So let's go ahead and we're going to remove a heart from the strand here, as well as thread the needle onto one of our straps here. So go ahead and do that and meet you in a second. I wear bifocals, so you didn't want to watch me thread my needle. It took me a while. Anyway, so on the back, in the part of the area where the heart expands out, we're going to go ahead and take our needle and pick up a few stitches here. And pull it in. Okay, so go ahead and lay it flat, and you want to pick up some of the last stitch of the half double crochet and part of the stitching from the back of the double crochet. Okay, wrap that twice. So you want to do the top half of the half double crochet and the bottom half. Just wrap it twice. Okay. And we're going to bring the other end over. And you notice how you want to make sure it's all straight. Now here's a good time to try it on your finger to see how it fits. If it's the right size, if it's not the right size. If it's the right size, go ahead and stitch it down. If it's the wrong size, you can bring it over just a little bit and still stitch it down. But for me, my finger is like a size 6, I guess. It's not very big. I have small fingers. You want to come across, pick up the other side. And we're going to do the same thing to this side and stitch it down. I'll show you next on how to sew the bead on. So after sewing that last side in, we're going to go ahead and come up just on the other side of the circle. Can you see my needle there? And let's drop the bead on there. You want the pointy side aiming down. So here's where placing it on there. Yeah, sometimes it just doesn't want to go through, does it? Okay, so aim it with the pointy side down, and it's going to go directly over that hole. You ever figured out why when you let everybody in the house know that you're going to be on video, they never come and see you any other time? But here I got the dog sniffing at the door. I got my husband sneaking around acting like he's trying to be quiet. But everybody just wants to come in and leave their noise. So if you hear my noise, it's all okay. So we want to sew that on twice. Take it to the back. Take our needle out. Make sure you put your needles back in their container. We don't want nobody stepping on them, no children trying to play with them. Be safe with them all the time. So we got our 2 strands back here. Let's go ahead and place a square knot in it. And we have us a pretty ring. What do you think? I could load my fingers up with these, huh? Alright? Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being with me today. I hope you make one and I hope you enjoy it. Make them as gifts. They don't take that long. That's the reason why I wanted to stay with you as long as I did on these videos. Or on this particular one. Have a great Valentine's Day. Share your love with others. We'll see you again next time. My name is Garnet. Thanks for being here with me. Bye-bye.